Hello, welcome. This is Here's to Your Good Health. My name is Linda Prezioso. I'm a nurse practitioner at Family Medical Center. And this show is for you, by you, and about you, for your good health. I'm live tonight. This is the 23rd of June, 21st of June? 23rd of June, sorry. And so if you want to give us a call, 407-1111, we'll talk about what you want to talk about. I'm going back to obesity again, and I'm going back to different health diets. Some are fads, some I think are pretty good, but I just wanted to kind of touch on some of them. My husband's going to join us in a little bit, and he's had some issues with diabetes, and so he's trying to learn how to eat right, and he's trying to figure out how to adjust his insulin and everything, because when he eats what he's supposed to and the proportions he's supposed to, his sugar is low. Well, of course, we want low sugar, but so then he feels bad, then he eats a honey bun to bring it back up. So we're learning how to get to that happy medium at our house. And so it's, when I talk about these things and give these examples and give these ideas and give these suggestions, this is the pot calling the skillet black here. I am certainly not any skinny mini. I've spent many, many years of my adult life being overweight. I'm still overweight. I've been losing weight. It's a very slow, laborious, hard process, but I am getting there, slowly but surely. So, and now we're trying to change the way we eat at home. But I'll let Bob talk about that when he gets here. So I have this obesity fact sheet I just copied, and I'm going to put it in each one of my rooms at the office. And this is an obesity fact sheet. And North Carolina is ranked 20 out of 51 in states impacted by obesity. 29.3% of our obese race is Caucasian. 41.1% of our obese folks are African American, and 28.3% are Hispanics. I'm not sure what the ratio is of black and white. I think in the city of Rocky Mount it's about 60-40, but I'm not sure like in the whole state and in our county and all that. But it's very concerning to me that 41% of African Americans are obese, and I think there's multiple reasons for that. There's more of a socioeconomic problem in the black community. There's more of probably lack of education how to eat and how to cook. That's one reason why Richard Joyner started that food farm and all out in Edgecombe County, because the people in his area, he has a church in Canida in Edgecombe County, which is it's a poor community. I'm not sure what the population is, white versus black. It doesn't matter. People are people. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter where you came from. What matters is we want to be healthy. We want our city to be healthy. We want to shine in the state of North Carolina as a place where we've learned how to be fat, and now we're learning how to be healthy. So I'm just on a soapbox about this right now. Obesity affects more than 32% of North Carolinians, so 1/3 of the state is obese. 30% of males are in North Carolina or are obese, and 33% of females are obese. The age group that's most affected by obesity is the 45 to 64 range, and that's 38.2%. And North Carolina ranks 12th in adults with type 2 diabetes. We want to be 12th in our schools and 12th in our healthy cities. We want to be, 48th when it comes to obesity. So the children that are affected in North Carolina North Carolina is not one of the 15 states that receive CDC grant funds to help with training of obesity prevention in early childhood settings. So we don't get the grant money from the CDC. We're going to have to do it ourselves. And I'm not here to say they should, they shouldn't. I don't know all the government regulations. I don't know who gets it and why. It doesn't matter. We're all people, we're all fat, and we all got to work together to get better. Children affected by obesity, 15% of children 2 to 4 are obese. To me, that's a very high number. A little 2-year-old should not be obese. He should be so busy running around and driving his mama nuts that he burns off it all. So what are we doing? Now, sometimes there are medical problems that would cause obesity in children, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the mamas who give their kids soda pop in their bottles and sweet tea in their bottles instead of having them drink water. And then age 10 to 17, 12% of our children in North Carolina are obese. So it's less in the 10 to 17 range than it is in the 2 to 4 range. This just breaks my heart. A little 2 to 4-year-old being too heavy. So what is the cost of obesity? It's high. The total cost of obesity in North Carolina is $58 billion. The total cost of obesity for Medicare in Alabama, now why that is thrown in here, I don't know, maybe as a comparison, is $9.6 billion. So we spend $58 billion in North Carolina and $10 billion in Alabama. And the cost of employment for the population with obesity is $23 billion. And that means losing weight, can't climb the stairs because you're too heavy, my knees hurt, I can't do this job or that job because I've got 200 pounds of pressure on my knees, that kind of thing. In the national scene, the cost of obesity, the total cost of obesity in the nation is $1.7 trillion. That's with a T. That's high. That's as high as our national debt, and we're not going to talk about that either. So $1.2 trillion is the cost of the indirect cost of obesity, and then $48 billion is the total direct health care cost of obesity. And then the cost of obesity for children is $2.9 billion. And for people living with obesity, 28% of their annual health care costs are spent treating obesity-related conditions. So what are some obesity-related conditions? Most of type 2 diabetes, most all of your cholesterol, a lot of your musculoskeletal, knee pain, that kind of thing is from obesity, because you know we got these little joints and these little bones and these big old fat legs and you know we're carrying around 3 people in our belly because we're so heavy. So there's a lot of if we would eat right, and you've heard me say this a million times on this show, eat right, get exercise, drink water. You know, tea should be a treat. Soda pop should be a treat. We shouldn't be drinking 2 and 3 and 4 glasses of that stuff a day. It's full of sugar and it's full of empty calories. There's absolutely no good that comes to your body from drinking that stuff. What it does is it fulfills your craving and your need for more sugar, which is highly addictive. It's more addictive than cocaine. So you think about that. You want to have sugar like the cocaine addicts do, or do you want to just drink water and be healthy? I'm just saying. So there's several different diets that are, some are healthy, some I think are a little bit hard to stick with. So I'm going to talk about intermittent fasting I'm going to talk about the Mediterranean diet. I'm going to talk about the keto diet. And I'm going to talk about Dr. Gundry, what's his first name? Steve? No, maybe. Anyway, he's a cardiologist that has made a lot of healthy products. He's written several books, and he has a diet. I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically all, well, let's just go to that. It's basically all plants, but there's such a thing in plants called lectins, and I'm not going to go into all of that because I read the book once and it kind of, it didn't get stuck in here. So, but these lectins are part of the foods that we shouldn't be eating because it can increase the propensity for us to gain weight. One of them I know was seeds and tomatoes. So I can't remember it all, but I'm just going to go over his first 2 weeks. Now it says in his books, and I believe him, that people that go on his diet will lose 20 to 40 pounds, and they get rid of the cholesterol in their arteries and all, and they are a lot healthier. He's a cardiac surgeon, so he's seen plenty of heart disease, both on lab papers in his office and then with an open heart in the operating room. So he knows what he's talking about as far as that. I read his diet and I thought it would be a little bit too hard for me. I'm kind of a go on the fly kind of person. And I'm trying really hard to learn better about preparing my foods and eating. One of the doctors that I work with, she had this jar. Well, it was a quart mason jar. And I said, what in the world is in that, Dr. Angott? And she had layers of vegetables, beets, let's see, and you put your salad dressing on the bottom, and then you put all your lettuce stuff on the top so the salad dressing doesn't wilt the lettuce. And she had a layer of carrots, and I think a layer of cabbage, and a layer of beets, and a layer of apples, and I can't remember it all. And then she had leafy greens on the top. And so she just took her jar and shook it up and then turned it upside down and ate her salad, and that's what she was eating for lunches at work. So, that's a great idea. Another girl who's lost 100 pounds, by the way, she eats a lot of the overnight oatmeal. I haven't tried that, but I was looking at recipes last night on YouTube, and you take regular oatmeal, not the instant kind, the rolled oats, and you add your choice of milk. She was using oat milk, I think. I like oat milk. My husband likes almond milk. But it was the oats and the milk and she used maple syrup for sweetener. I would probably use honey myself just because that's what I like. Some kind of chia seed. I'm not quite sure what that was. And then you could put whatever fruits, if you like pineapple, put in pineapple and bananas, or apples and raisins, or, whatever kind of fruit you like. And you make it overnight, and then you eat it cold the next day. My daughter doesn't like it because it's cold. I don't know if I'll like it because I do like hot oatmeal, but I think I'd like it, especially in the summer. It's kind of cool, it's hot out, so you want to eat a cooler food. So I'm going to try that. But it's hard to prepare all these foods and then, eat them. Now, my daughter has gone totally, I think it's vegan. Vegan is when you only eat vegetables. And she does eat tofu for a protein. She does not eat cheese. She does not eat milk. I personally think she's a little nuts, but it's her body and she has to take care of herself the way she wants to. But she did admit at how much time it took to cook you know, instead of using the pasta noodles, we can go in the pantry and take out some spaghetti and dump in boiling water, and you got pasta in 15 minutes, and you pour some marinara over it and you got dinner. You know, she has to make what she calls zoodles, and you take zucchini, and she's got a tool that slices them, and they look like noodles, but they're called zoodles because it's zucchini. So she has to do all that. She has to prep all of that herself, and I don't have the inclination and I don't have the time to do that, so that's not going to work for me. Most all of the diets are very high on vegetables, so I'm trying to do better. I had a small piece of meatloaf about that size for lunch, and then I had the rest was vegetables. I did have about a tablespoon of macaroni and cheese. And then for supper, she had made a vegetable lasagna, and I didn't like the noodles in it, so I just scraped the other stuff off of it and ate the insides, and that was really good. She's a good cook. I did enjoy that. But it is tough to eat vegetables, and you know, what kind of vegetable and fruit you're going to eat for breakfast? I don't know. I love a big, heavy breakfast. I like to eat a lot in the morning. And if I'm still hungry, I'll eat a lot at lunch. And then I don't eat a lot at dinner times a lot of times. Sometimes I just come home and eat a can of soup or eat a bowl of cereal. But that's how my body likes food in the morning. So it's going to be a learning process for us all. But let's get back to Dr. Gundry's diet. And so these are the foods you are allowed to eat at each meal. You can eat a protein the size of the palm of your hand. So if you're a big strapping guy with palms that big, you're going to get you a good old piece of meat. I'm not going to get so much. My palms aren't that big. Plenty of leafy green vegetables and 2 snacks of seeds or nuts. And this is great if you're real healthy or if you've got all your teeth. I've got some teeth issues going on right now, and seeds or nuts right now, both of which I really like and have always put in my oatmeal in the morning when I make that. I can't eat those right now. I can't chew them right now. So that's not going to work for me. And seeds, I have something called diverticulosis, which if you eat a lot of seeds and nuts and things like that, and they get caught in those little pockets in your colon, then you get something called diverticulitis, and then you have to go on an antibiotic. So those are not really good foods for me. They're good, healthy foods, just not for me right now anyway. And so what are your sources of protein? Cottage cheese, cheddar cheese or Swiss, plain unsweetened yogurt. If you've ever eaten unsweetened yogurt, it is definitely an acquired taste because I like it because I've made it before, and I tend to not like real sweet things because I don't eat a lot of sweets. And then you can have soy milk, almond milk, or hemp milk. I've never heard of hemp milk, but I won't knock it till I've tried it. You can have 2 or 3 eggs, up to 4 eggs a day, black soybeans or edamame, and then tofu noodles. That's, according to Dr. Gundry, those are your protein sources. So then what can't you eat? All beige or white foods. Pasta, rice, milk, potatoes, ice cream, chips, baked goods, cereals, and candy. Anything made with white flour is off limits. All foods containing sugar in any way. That's why you can't have regular milk. Milk has sugar in it. All drinks which are diet, low-cal, light, sugar-free. All fruits and vegetable juices. And you can't have any white wine or beer because it's got residual sugars. So we're going to stop right here. Bob's back. We'll get him over here with me. We're going to talk about his struggle with learning how to eat right. The struggle is real, let me tell you. So we'll be right back with more of Here's to Your Good Health. Don't go away. Hang on.
At Down East Hearing Care Associates, we are dedicated to taking care of every client by providing personal, high-quality hearing care services. My staff and I know hearing loss affects each person and their loved ones differently, so we give you the time and the care you need to ensure the hearing technology chosen fits your lifestyle. At Down East Hearing Care, we also make custom ear molds and specialize in emergency hearing aid repairs. Down East Hearing Care Associates has 2 locations, one in Knightdale and one in Rocky Mount. We have hearing lives to save.
Hi, I'm Richard Koss, pharmacist and owner of Almonds Drug Store here in Rocky Mount. Here today with my wife and 2 daughters. For over 75 years, Almonds Drug Store has been the pharmacy of choice for residents of Edgecombe and Nash County. Our family is proud to call Rocky Mount home, and we are excited about the new services and products we are adding daily at both of our Almonds Drug Store's locations and also at our medical supply store.
Come in and see us at Almonds Medical Supply. We're an extension of Almonds Drug Stores, your local hometown pharmacy. We're here to service all your needs, from wheelchairs to walkers to orthopedic supports, compression hose to hard-to-find wound care supplies. And you'll always get that hometown customer service.
We want our patients to pay the best prices, get the best service available, and have a better pharmacy experience than they will get anywhere else. Our staff is committed to going above and beyond to meet our patients' needs. Whether it is working with your provider to get you the best medication at the best price, contacting your provider to get you refills or a prior authorization, or taking the time to review each of your medications with you personally, or perhaps even helping you find an old-time remedy or other hard-to-find items, your Almonds Drug Store staff will work hard to meet your pharmacy needs. At Almonds, we will deliver your prescriptions for free. Both of our stores have drive-through windows, we guarantee short wait times, and our pharmacists will come out to greet you personally and answer any questions you have. If you want to be met with a smiling face, or even want someone to greet you by name when you walk through the doors, we are the pharmacy for you.
Call Almonds Drugs today.
443-3138 or 446-0014.
Heidi-ho, welcome back. This is Here's to Good Health. I'm Linda
Can't figure out how to
Prezioso.
put my head.
I'm a nurse practitioner at Family Medical Center, and I've got my husband with me tonight because we're talking about obesity. We're talking about how to eat right and the struggle of learning how to eat right. And you know, just because I'm a nurse practitioner and I can tell you what to eat, I still don't really know how to cook it all. Let me tell you that too. So anyway, we'll get back to Dr. Gundry, but I just wanted to have Bob kind of articulate a little bit about what he's been going through with his sugars, what he's learned from his endocrinologist, and what he's learned from his dietitian, and how he's trying. He's really, I give him an A for effort. He is really trying to do what's right. But you know, when you've eaten somewhere way for years and years and years, you're not going to change overnight, and you're not going to develop taste for certain things overnight. And so he's having a real struggle, aren't you?
Yep.
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 So why did you have to go to the endocrinologist?
Because I couldn't get my sugars regulated. They were hypo to hyper and both ways, and it was just driving me nuts. When my sugar drops, then I get the shakes and sweat and all of that, and blurry vision. Now I know why they take away CDL licenses from truck drivers when they have they're insulin dependent. Because if your sugar drops and you can't see, you don't need to be on the road with an 18-wheeler. But you know, I used to be very heavy. I ended up having a gastric bypass, hoping that would cure the diabetes, because they tell me 90% of the time the gastric bypass will cure diabetes. Well, I'm one of the 10%. So it didn't, but I still lost 100 pounds. Which is really good, and I enjoy being the size that I am now. I mean, I don't get tired as much from lugging all that extra weight around. But I still have the diabetes, and it's been uncontrolled for a long time. I like my shirt there, Great American Farmer. Farmers grow vegetables, and I've been eating a lot more vegetables. My sugars have been a whole lot better, but it's still hard to
Well, tell them
regulate.
what your endocrinologist told you to eat, or not to eat.
Basically what he said, if it tastes good and I like it, I can't have it. I mean, he wants me to just eat vegetables. You know, I went to the dietitian, and she's not as harsh as he was, so I can eat some things. But I'm trying. You know, I have to go back, was it in 2 weeks, to get checked again and see how the sugars are doing, see how I've been changing the way that I eat. My dad, you know, he had to have a salad with every meal. I swore that he had to have a salad with breakfast, but not really. But he had to have a salad with every meal.
Your parents ate very well.
Yeah, my parents ate very healthy. But you know, I mean, I have not eaten healthy. I traveled a lot. I ate fast food a lot. I ate junk a lot. I still love my junk. Oh, I just can't have it too much. You know, they told me I could have one diet drink a day. Try one diet drink. They put chemicals in the diet drinks to make you drink more. So, you know, you have the craving for that. So it's drinking unsweet tea or water. And I've been drinking a lot more water than I had in the past. But it's a struggle. It's you know, you go to a restaurant, what can you eat? You know, I mean, I go, you know, I'll have some green beans. Well, you know, there's a big chunk of pork in there.
The way the southern
pig's feet.
people
Oh, yeah.
cook it,
Yeah.
which is not good for you.
Yeah. You know,
Tastes great.
Yeah, I mean, roasted vegetables are probably the best. Cooking them on the grill outside, just roast some zucchini or what, and that, like my wife said, our daughter made the vegetable lasagna with zucchini and squash, and that was really good. I enjoyed that. I enjoy eating vegetables, but I also enjoy eating chicken and beef and pork
And potatoes.
and potatoes, and my one really downfall is I go to a local restaurant in Dorches
Oh my God.
and get
This
fatback.
is terrible, y'all. Fatback. Who eats fat? Oh!
I
I
do.
know, a lot of people do.
Yeah, yeah. You know, but I don't go there every day. I may not even go there every week to get that, but you know, you just can't in most restaurants get something that is really good and healthy that they haven't cooked all the nutrition out of.
And then there's the whole prep of vegetables. I mean, yeah, we like roasted vegetables. You still got to cut them and slice them, and you know, if we, either on the grill or on roasted in the oven. You
Yeah.
know, you sprinkle a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper, but all that takes time. Well, you can buy some frozen French fries and throw them in the oven, and then you're done.
Yeah.
So it's a big it's a learning curve for both of us, and you know, we want to stay healthy and stay here as long as God allows us, and so eating right is part of that, and we're just going to have to keep plugging away, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like my cereal. When I was a teenager, this is probably one of the worst things that anybody can do. I would take, you know, the big salad bowl that you spoon the salad out to put in your little bowl. I take that big salad bowl, pour a half a box of Cheerios in there, or a whole box, a cup of sugar or more, and a quart of milk. And I'd sit in front of the television and eat that. And that was, my snack, besides the other things that I ate. I love pizza. The endocrinologist said, no more pizza. I mean, you're telling an Italian not to eat Italian food? It's just, it's a choice that you have to make. Do you want to live healthy? Do you want to live long? You need to eat right. And then, I always revert back to one of my favorite scriptures, Romans 14:2. In the Good News translation, it's, he that is weak eats vegetables only.
Well,
Yeah. I'm weak when it comes to choosing good things to eat. I want a meatball sandwich with lots of stuff on it. I love cheese. Not supposed to eat as much cheese as I do. No, I have a bunch of 30-gram protein drinks that I mix with that oat milk to get rid of the oat milk so I can buy almond milk.
I like oat milk. But- So anyway, I wanted to share this with you because, I think sometimes people listen to me and say, well, she's got it together. Well, honey, I ain't got it together. Let me tell you, I just don't have it together.
Amen.
I'm learning. We're both learning. We're trying very hard to learn how to eat right. We did go to an Indian restaurant in Greenville a few weeks ago with some friends of ours, and I had eggplant, which was yum. I don't remember what Roger and Robin had. It didn't look good, whatever it was. And then Bob had some goat, and the goat.
I like goat.
The goat was, to everybody else on the table, it was the best. And I like goat. It was good, but I love eggplant. That's one of my big things. So if I go back again, but the Indian culture, they are vegetarian. They don't eat meat. I was telling one of the nurse assistants at work, I said, Sonal, I went to this restaurant in Greenville. Oh my God, it was so good. And I was telling her all about it. And she said, now you know, Linda, why I don't eat boring, bland food from the United States. She's English. She was raised in England, but India is her culture. She said, I just can't eat that boring, bland food because Indians use a lot of spices. And my eggplant was really good the first night, but I had some left over, and it was super hot the next day. I could hardly eat it. It was, because as things sit, they get spicy, or they absorb all that. So I got to go back to the mild. I can't do, and that was just medium. I would never even consider hot.
Yeah, that's another thing that we do. When we go to a restaurant now, we will share a meal, and I'll still end up taking some home because every place you go to, they give you so much to eat.
The portions are really huge.
The portions are huge, and you have these buffets, all you can eat. They should say all you care to eat, because all you can eat is a challenge.
Well,
I'm going to show them.
And if you're paying $12 for a meal, you're going to get your $12 worth.
Yeah, I mean, we
That's our
don't eat
mentality.
$12 between us.
We're so pathetic. We do get an ice cream treat every once in a while. I get those little drumsticks. I eat half of it and he eats the other half. We don't even finish a whole one of those. But we're really trying to cut back and not eat that kind of stuff because ice cream is not good for him, not good for me.
It's not good for me.
No,
Why not?
it's full of sugar.
Sugar? Ooh.
And milk, you're not supposed to have, well, according to Dr. Gundry here, you're not supposed to have milk.
Yeah, but who can believe him?
I don't know. Anyway, so I just wanted to let you all know that when I sit up here and say, we need to do this, we need to do that, I'm preaching to myself as well, you know. Do I get 30 minutes worth of exercise in every day? Maybe close to it, but not all the time. Now, when I work, you know, I have my Fitbit here, and I've got it set for 6,000 steps. You know, the minimum that the NIH wants you to have is 10,000 steps a day. I can do that when I'm home, if I'm working outside, because our chickens are on one end of our property, and our goats are on the other end, and if I walk back and forth a couple times and work in the garden and do all that, I'll get close to 10,000 steps. But that's a lot of steps to get. And for as long as I've had this Fitbit, which is about probably 3 or 4 months, I've never hit 10,000. I've hit 9,700, but that's as far as it's gone. But it's easier for me when I'm home and kind of meandering about and going and doing what I want to do. When I'm working, I leave my desk with my computer and I walk to a room, which is probably 5-8 steps, and then I go back to my station and do some charting, and so I don't walk very much at work. I do my elliptical every morning, and that gives me about 700 steps, and I probably need to do more than that, but there's just not enough hours in the day sometimes. So anyway, we're going to take our second break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about the healthy way to eat and what we need to be eating. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
At Downey's Hearing Care Associates, we are dedicated to taking care of every client by providing personal, high-quality hearing care services. My staff and I know hearing loss affects each person and their loved ones differently, so we give you the time and the care you need to ensure the hearing technology chosen fits your lifestyle. At Downey's Hearing Care, we also make custom ear molds and specialize in emergency hearing aid repairs. Downey's Hearing Care Associates has 2 locations, one in Knightdale and one in Rocky Mount. We have hearing lives to save.
When faced with special care needs for elderly or disabled loved ones, families want compassionate, comforting care. That's Tender Touch Home Care Services' goal, providing the level of care we would expect for our own. With over 10 years of home care excellence, Tender Touch provides an array of services that keeps your loved one at home. From personal care, light housekeeping, errands, and meal preparation, to our private duty care program, which combines all of our home care offerings in one package.
Tender Touch Home Care Services, where your needs are our concern.
Hi, I'm Richard Goss, pharmacist and owner of Almonds Drug Store here in Rocky Mount. Here today with my wife and 2 daughters. For over 75 years, Almonds Drug Store has been the pharmacy of choice for residents of Edgecombe and Nash County. Our family is proud to call Rocky Mount home, and we are excited about the new services and products we are adding daily at both of our Almonds Drug Store's locations and also at our medical supply store.
Come in and see us at Almonds Medical Supply. We're an extension of Almonds Drug Stores, your local hometown pharmacy. We're here to service all your needs, from wheelchairs to walkers to orthopedic supports to compression hose to hard-to-find wound care supplies. And you'll always get that hometown customer service.
We want our patients to pay the best prices, get the best service available, and have a better pharmacy experience than they will get anywhere else. Our staff is committed to going above and beyond to meet our patients' needs. Whether it is working with your provider to get you the best medication at the best price, contacting your provider to get you refills or a prior authorization, or taking the time to review each of your medications with you personally, or perhaps even helping you find an old-time remedy or other hard-to-find items, your Almonds Drugstore staff will work hard to meet your pharmacy needs. At Almonds, we will deliver your prescriptions for free. Both of our stores have drive-through windows, we guarantee short wait times, and our pharmacists will come out to greet you personally and answer any questions you have. If you want to be met with a smiling face, or even want someone to greet you by name when you walk through the doors, we are the pharmacy for you.
Call Almonds Drugs today.
443-3138 or 446-0014.
All right, we're back. Welcome. This is Here's to Good Health. It's June 23rd and we're live, so if you want to give us a call, 407-1111, that would be awesome. We will talk about anything you want to talk about. But I'm going to move into some intermittent fasting, and this has become one of the latest fads. I actually listened to a lecture by a guy that's a specialist on cholesterol on Monday. And he and his wife do intermittent fasting, and he is a big proponent of it. He also says that it really helps with cholesterol. So, we'll just touch on that a little bit. There's several different kinds of intermittent fasting. One is called alternate day fasting. You eat your normal diet one day and either completely fast or eat a small 500-calorie meal the next day. Then 5-2 fasting is eat normal diet 5 days a week and fast 2 days a week. Or daily time restricted fasting, and I think most people do this, and that's eat normally but with an 8-hour window each day. For example, skip breakfast but eat lunch around noon, dinner by 8, and then you don't eat anything again until the next noon day. So that's the most popular, and that's what people like the most with this alternate fasting. But there's been some studies about alternate fasting and intermittent fasting, and there's some research that suggests that it may be more beneficial to reducing inflammation and improving conditions associated with inflammation, and that is why the cholesterol guy likes it for his patients. And some of those conditions that he was talking about with inflammation would be Alzheimer's disease, arthritis, asthma, multiple sclerosis. Hang on, I got to get my fingers to work. A stroke. And arthritis is a biggie. And you know what one of the worst things for arthritis is, people? Sugar. It is a highly inflammatory food. Bob hears that from his daughter all the time. But with the intermittent fasting, it helps you to lose weight. You become more physically active because you're not sitting and eating, you're doing other things. And it helps diseases, the obesity-related diseases, which is diabetes, sleep apnea, some kinds of cancer. And so this is, I just pulled out a brief little summary of intermittent fasting. I didn't go into depth about it.
I can't do that.
No, diabetics really can't.
Yeah, diabetics and having that gastric bypass, I can't eat that much at one sitting that will last me for 12 hours.
Yeah, so it's out for us. But so this is what some of the benefits of intermittent fasting. These are all evidence-based ones. It changes the functions of hormones, cells, and genes. When you don't eat for a while, several things happen in your body.
Yeah, you go hungry.
Hush.
Yes, dear.
It changes hormone levels to make stored body fat more accessible and initiates important cellular repair processes during the fasting. The insulin levels drop significantly, which facilitates fat burning. The human growth hormone levels, HGH, increase dramatically, and the higher levels of this, oh, where did the rest of my stuff go?
Oh, no.
Well, I might have to come back to the 10,
Buy 'em books, send them to school.
I know, right? Okay, well, I don't have the rest of those 10. I either left them on the printer or it didn't print, one of the others, so I'll have to get back to you with that. So then I wanted to touch briefly on the Mediterranean diet. And this, to me, of all the diets, of all the things, I just kind of believe in good common sense and making good food choices. I don't think you have to go all vegan. I don't think you have to do pescatarian, which is vegetables, cheese, milk, and fish. I don't think you have to do the keto diet, which is all high fatty foods that put your body in ketosis, and that's why you lose weight. And I've got that here too, but I'm not going to have time to hit that tonight. But the Mediterranean diet, it's called that because people that live around the Mediterranean coast, off of in between Italy and Greece and down in that area, they all are this big and they live to be 100. And so there's been multiple studies on that culture and why they're so healthy.
And the northern Africa coast also, they make a lot of good spicy food.
But they don't eat that way over there.
They don't?
I don't think so.
I like that Moroccan food.
Bob, hush.
Yes, dear.
So a Mediterranean-style diet typically includes plenty of fruits, vegetables, bread and other grains, potatoes, beans, nuts, and seeds. Olive oil is your primary fat source. And dairy products, eggs, fish, and poultry in low amounts. Fish and poultry are much more common than red meat on this diet. It centers on minimally processed plant-based foods. You know, we just don't need to eat any processed foods. Wine may be consumed in low to moderate amounts, usually with meals. And fruit is a common dessert instead of sweets. And so that's one thing Bob's parents always did. They always had a piece of fruit for dessert, a pear, a peach, something. My mother-in-law did not make cookies and cakes and that kind of thing.
That her mother did.
So year after year, the Mediterranean diet comes out on top in the U.S. News World and Report says that it's one of the best diets. A panel of experts eating various plans and popular diets on criteria including how healthy they are and how well they work and how easy things are to follow. Those are the way how they judge these diets. And the American Heart Association recommends the Mediterranean style diet because it helps you achieve a healthy dietary pattern that emphasizes, again, on lots of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, and legumes. And you know, when you look at your plate, half of your plate for any meal is supposed to be fruits and vegetables, half of your plate. Then a quarter of your plate is your protein, your meat, cottage cheese, tofu, whatever you prefer. And then a quarter of your plate is a bread or a potato, a starch of some sort. And Mediterranean diet is low fat or fat free. They use mostly all fish and poultry, very little red meat, and they limit added sugars, sugary beverages, sodium, highly processed foods, refined carbohydrates, saturated fats, and fatty or processed meat. And eating this way can really help prevent heart disease and stroke, and those are two of the biggest killers of people in our country and of people in this eastern North Carolina, which is called the stroke belt. And it's called the stroke belt because we have the highest incidence of strokes in the entire U.S. And I know it's because of putting fat back in your green beans and all that kind of stuff. The way that we eat is just, it's not good. So we've just been talking about, how healthy things are and why you should eat more vegetables. It's taught and encouraged by endocrinology, which is the diabetic doctors. It's taught by dietitians and diabetic educators for foods. It's taught by the Heart Association, the Diabetic Association. And why do we have all these associations? Because we're all fat, because we don't eat well. Our food industry, they are not our friend. They are not here to make food that's healthy. Most stuff that's in a box or a can, there's so little nutrition, you can't even really count it as such. And they want us to like the food so much that we keep buying more. They get it. They've hired scientists and dietitians and food people to find what is the bliss point. Bliss point is where people like it so much they'll keep buying it and keep buying it and keep buying it. So we've got to come to the point where we have the bliss point, which is our fruits and vegetables. So I'm going to be learning more about this, and I'll probably be espousing more of it to you all the time, because I just I want us to be healthy. I want us to learn how to eat better. I want us to move. I want us to be the best that we can be. I want us all to be in our good health. And so many people have medical problems because they don't eat right. A lot of it is based on food and lack of movement alone.
And to add to that, it is better if you grow your own vegetables. I have seen, as I travel through communities, there are a lot of community gardens now where people get together and they share a space, or the city has donated this land to have a community garden where you can grow your own vegetables. They're not full of salt and sugar like what comes out of a can.
And they're not full of pesticides.
And they're not full of chemicals and pesticides.
At least ours aren't.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to go out there and spray some kind of insect killer on your plants when you can do things naturally. When we lived out west, I'd go to the feed stores and I'd buy praying mantis and ladybugs. Best things for your plants. They eat the insects that are eating your plants, and they don't hurt you. They won't kill you like the pesticides that these people put in it. The growth hormones they put into the meats that we eat. I mean, it can't be healthy. And I like unique different kinds of foods. I like goat. I learned to eat goat when I lived in Mexico, and it was really good. It's a strong taste. A lot of people don't like it. The same with lamb. But you can fix those things so that they are not so strong of a taste. And they're, goat and lamb don't have as much fat in it as beef does, or pork. So, you've got a lot of hunters out there that swear by deer. I can fix a deer that you wouldn't know that it was deer. You'd swear it was beef.
Yeah, you learned how to do that.
Yeah. I mean, and you can do that with the goat and lamb. You know, cook on the grill. So, you know, the grease drops down onto the coals instead of in the frying pan and absorb back into whatever you're cooking. Use natural stuff. Margarine is terrible. Butter is much, much healthier. You know, and oh yeah, but the butter fat. Yeah, well, I'd rather have fat than poison, than something that's
Chemicals, yeah.
one gene away or one atom away from plastic.
I've taught them
Yeah.
well, haven't I?
Yeah, peanut butter is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. All right, it's time for us to say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching, and I think, is next week July 4th week?
Yes.
Well, I'll be gone. I'm going to Ocracoke. We're going to Ocracoke for our wedding anniversary. So I will not be here next week, which is, well, I guess maybe July 5th?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Next Wednesday, whatever that is. But then I will be back. So you all have a great, I was just going to look on my calendar and see
Your calendar.
what date. Next
Yeah, next Wednesday's the
I will
30th.
be here because it's the 30th. It's the following week. So I will see you next week with more of Here's to Your Good Health. Good night.